another Sleepy Talk video. I'm joined with Ryan. Where are we going, Ryan?
We are going to Nottingham. We're going home.
So today we are going to be meeting up with a very special guest of the channel, MrStitchFilms. And what are we going to be doing there, Ryan?
We're going to go check out Dark Children.
Yeah.
We're going to be meeting the stars.
Yeah.
We're going to be checking out the cinema. We're just going to fancy the day out, my boy. Mandate time, innit?
Yeah.
Took me out to the cinemas. Yeah. And this guy reckons we're going to be playing some carpool karaoke as well.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's the equipment destroyed in the back.
Yeah.
It's high octane stuff, people.
Yeah.
If I'm doing one, you've got to do one now.
What, carpool karaoke?
Yeah, like
We're both doing it.
Are we both doing it?
We're both doing it.
Are we both doing it?
Yeah, we're both doing it.
Okay.
So, just to get back on topic anyway, because I don't want to ruin everything for the journey, Ryan. We're going to be watching the premiere of Darkwood Children. Darkwood Children?
Yeah.
The Children of Darkwood House. Yeah?
Children of Darkwood House. Yeah, sorry. Listen, I'm terrible with names. You guys
It's like your...
summarised it.
He's your bro. It's your bro that's doing the film.
I'm glad you corrected me, because that's how I would have told everybody. Yeah, I went to go see Darkwood Children. And then
I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon as well.
Yeah?
Pretty sure he did. I mean, I will edit this out if I am wrong. But I'm sure he put something up on Facebook yesterday saying that it's on Amazon. So if you want to go check it out, go check it out.
Yes,
I'll put a link in the description, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Check him out on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
lots of content on YouTube.
Lots of content. Lots of short films too. They're really good.
Yes.
Let's get weedy with it, guys.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me if I by Vegeta.
By who?
Still beat ya.
Well, could you?
Goku no Zenkai. You jump what I do.
Nope.
Come out the way when I come through.
I'm everywhere. Shadow comes jutsu. Old type man Naruto fans. Yeah.
Couldn't be me if I by Vegeta. Get your power up, but still beat ya. You could even send for Goku no Zenkai. Could top what I do. Come out the way when I come through. I'm everywhere. Shadow comes jutsu. Keep this punch, Rasengan too. I look hot, that's Amaterasu. Couldn't be me if I by Vegeta. Get your power up, but still beat ya.
You could even.
Oh mate,
You could even send for Goku no Zenkai. Could top what I do. Come out the way when I come through. I'm everywhere. Shadow comes jutsu. Keep this punch, Rasengan too. I'm looking hot, that's Amaterasu. Pens like a lightning blade, run you through. Sharingan shook when I'm looking at you, cause I'm colder than freezer. More arrogant than self. You can call me the Bora, cause I'm straight out of hell. You could beat me hell. Vegeta, get your power up, but still beat ya. You could even send for Goku no Zenkai. Could drop what I do, come out the way when I come through. I'm everywhere, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Keep this punch, Rasengan too. I look hot, that's Amaterasu. Pens like a lightning blade, run you through. Sharingan shook when I'm looking at you. Reckless driving on camera. Beat you back by Vegeta. Straight out of hell. No fast. Put me on garage, put me on house, I make the place bounce. Put me on drum and bass, peel off your face. Put me on reggae, make the place rock steady. But dubstep, that's too slow. I prefer two-step, cause you know that I've got that flow and I'm ready to go. You can't test me, bro. I'm the best I can show. So save the ego and go. Come at the place, going in, give this place need more than a taste. And I got what it takes and I take no mistakes. Yeah, guys. Let's get weedy with it. Don't see clearer. I was a sick. I'm a terror. I don't know. I can't remember these ones. God, you can't get nearer. I'm not a sharer. How can I be seen when you're such a feeder? Won't be a leader. You can't like a train. You come like a creeper. Yeah. Fast comes like a lyrical solid. Beef and nobody wants it. I move smart, never undone.
There's a snack bar. Yeah. Showtime.
Large ice combo, sweet top combo. Sweet popcorn veg? Yeah, please.
Sweet enough, bro.
My children have been missing for 3 months. And do you believe that they are more than just missing? I know they are. The night that they disappeared, Amelia was so scared to be left alone. Scared of him. Who?
The nursery man!
You've seen him? Yes. You are not safe.
I am not a child and I will not hide. Whatever you want from them, you can take from me!
That was one too many.
There's something so scary about that behind you thing. There's something about that.
Toy.
Yeah.
We had the soundtrack to Fast and Furious 9 going on as well. Did you hear
I
that?
could hear
Yeah,
some.
that's right.
That's what it was. The Fast and Furious 9.
So Anthony,
Hello.
first time we're meeting in person.
It
eh?
is, it
Yeah,
is.
it's great. So fantastic film.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for inviting us down, and it's been a blast. How did you find it? The finished product, we'll say.
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Nerve-wracking. It's I would have enjoyed it a lot more had I not had the problems I had last week with the editing software. That threw a curveball that I was not happy about.
Yeah.
And many a conversation online with support, and I just basically had to panic edit for nearly 48 hours to make sure that it was ready, because I had to get it here, they had to copy it across into their system, which takes time, and then I had needed to see it before today to make sure it was okay and make sure there was nothing major. So the slight things that were wrong with the audio, I was happy to keep in, just so that I didn't have the stress of having to go back and re-edit and re-upload and etc.
So I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank
I
you.
really did. It was the first premiere. Fantastic, and once again, thank you for inviting me down.
not a
It's been
problem.
great. So you've talked about some of the lows. What about some of the highs? What are your best bits from the film? Whether it's the actual film, producing, any of the actors that you enjoyed more than others, you know?
Just like the filming of it is always so much fun.
Yeah.
Just because I feel that the sets that I usually work with the actors, we have a really good laugh. It's not just regimented, and you know, everyone I feel is quite relaxed when filming, and we have a good laugh. I mean, there are times when I have to crack a whip and go, okay, we need to get on because we're losing light, or etc. I'm really happy with how the music turned out. Mark Smith did a fantastic job on the music. I thought it was phenomenal. The actors, everyone involved, like both Sarahs, are just so good.
Yeah.
So good. I don't, because initially the part of Marion Kelly was for someone that was about 20 years old, and the part that Ben plays, they were meant to be sort of like a love interest.
Right.
And it had to go through a couple of recastings, and then Sarah Ellis was supposed to play Marion Kelly to begin with.
Okay.
And then everything was just going wrong, and eventually Sarah said, look, I can get the time off work if you need me, like I can be here all week. I didn't pick up on the fact that she was saying she could star in it, and I was like, being here all week is great, thank you so much. And then I cast someone else in the lead who just dropped out because they said they couldn't commit at the last minute, so then Sarah finally came in and took it on, and now I can't see anyone else playing it. I think it was perfect. Everything happened for a reason around the casting. It really did.
Yeah.
And then that freed up Marion Kelly, because Sarah Corliss wasn't originally available for filming. And then she said, well, if you can get most of my scenes done Monday and Friday, because she's got a lot of theatre work in between, then she can do it. I was like, yeah, that's great. Lo and behold, it took another year and a bit to get all of her stuff done.
Yeah.
But that's my fault. I was just so anal in regards to getting what I want in the film.
Yeah.
The part in the film where she looks in the mirror, she sees the sheet rise behind her, and then she turns around, it's not there. Then that was shot like 4 times to make, because each time I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
But there's just so many effects that happened, and just worked out fantastically. It
I
really
agree.
did. Like there were so many things that were just like right at the beginning where Sarah Claudius's character stands up and sees in the mirror the sheet that walks behind her, and she turns around, it's not there. That is literally all one shot, and it just so the person that was under the sheet was Stella, and she just got out of shot as it swung round, and it like perfect. It was just, you know, one of those perfect storm sort of shoots. So many great things. They're really good.
So that was fantastic. So when it came to the locations, I think you nailed it. I think it was incredible. Like
that was a lot of beg, borrowing, and stealing from people. Like literally on my knees, thinking like, please. Like the Bell in Nottingham was one of the locations at the beginning.
Yeah.
Langer Hall was the mental hospital.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Langer Hall. Bestwood Lodge was the mental hospital. Langer Hall was the old ladies' home, and Florence's alternate address. So they had a couple of rooms that were very different in style, but very old-fashioned. So we got away with like one location with two locations at the same time. So it was just a lot of begging. The house that we filmed, we'd already filmed 2 other features in it. So the Baylock and Cry of the Magpie. And my father-in-law said, "Do you think we can get one more film out of this house before it gets knocked down?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I killed myself. It's now gone. Yeah. Oh. I literally remember myself so ill decorating the house because it was literally just me for most of the time. My father-in-law wasn't very well at the time, so he backed out of with decorating. So it was literally just me. And then when Sarah Ellis was able to, she popped across and helped with the painting and stuff. But I remember I literally got the flu. I don't mean a bad cold. I mean I was ill because the house was so cold. Because I decorated through November, December, and January, and beginning of February, and that was when we had the Beast from the East in 2018.
Okay.
It was so cool. So I don't know if you noticed in the film, you can see breath on.
Yeah, I wondered whether that was an effect or whether that was.
That's how cold the house was. Seriously, that's how cold the house was.
So poor Sarah was just in a normal sort of dress.
Both Sarah's, like Sarah Ellis's outfits mostly were just lace.
Yeah.
Just lace, and that's what she adopted the red shawl just to keep her warm. She wasn't supposed to have that, but it looked really nice. The red on camera looked nice. But she wasn't supposed to have that. Honestly, I can't describe to you how cold that house was. And I felt so sorry for the girls. And at one point I had to throw a bucket of water over Sarah Claudius because she had to look like she ran in from the rain. Because that was obviously, you know, so I had to go, sorry, covering water, now going in that freezing cold house. I think at one point there was steam coming off her. But yeah.
So two bits that I really enjoyed. The intro really drew me in. Like the way that was done was incredible, especially when she runs outside and you can see the sideways rain spraying her in the face. It just gives you that sort of feeling of how torrential it is.
We had that set built.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
A friend of Sarah Ellis's, Jonathan, he said that he would help build the set, and I was supposed to be like 1 door high. And then he was like, well, you know, we can probably go into the store if you want. I was like, if you can, that'd be great, because it means I'm not limited on my camera. Yeah. You know, and he pretty much built all that.
So that's incredible, so props to him. And the second bit was, and I don't know whether you put this in, but there was a scary moment. I can't remember which one it was, because I remember looking behind me. Somebody said boo really loudly at the back. And I don't know whether that's in the actual...
No, that was one of the, that was one of the audience members.
Right, so that really got me. But the other bit was, I liked how the nurseryman, the nurseryman was only sort of seen once, and it was only part of it. I really enjoyed that bit. So obviously a lot of horror directors and a lot of horror films tend to show the monster or the spirit or whatever far too much. There's no suspense, and just that little bit, just when his eyes come up, incredible.
It was one of the main things I always said from the start with the nurseryman, is that I didn't want to show too much of him. Yeah. Because I remember hearing a quote, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Wes Craven. It said like, you know, the less you see is more. Yeah. You know, and I always try and do that a lot in my horror films. I don't want the creature or whoever it is to be front center. You know, in all their glory. You know, I always wanted them to be shadowy and, you know, all under the sheet most of the time, things like that.
And is that the reason, or whether it's just a happy coincidence, that the drawings, so the drawings for one is just an upper torso, the drawing for other is like a stick man with long fingers, which is just after it's been mentioned that they have long curling fingers. Yeah. Is that a happy coincidence, or is that something that you've actually put in? So
I put in, because like the drawings was just sort of like kids' interpretation of what he is, and then the other one is just like the drawings, scribble of a crazy man, you know, as he became so obsessed with it. So yeah, I always tried to make sure that he was always in shadow, because we went through, I think, while filming, 4 different iterations of the nurseryman.
Oh wow.
Whilst filming, so it was like reshooting 4 times all the nurseryman stuff, because I wasn't quite happy with the first one, the second or the third, and the 4th one, the guy that was playing the nurseryman just stopped talking to us and just cut us off. And so it was like, well, that's a happy coincidence, because we need to shoot more stuff. And Sarah Cordus, who played Marion Kelly, played the nurseryman.
Oh wow.
She's the one that got into makeup, and she played the nurseryman eventually.
Well, thank you once again for inviting us down.
Not a problem.
Is this on Amazon yet?
Not yet. I've got there's a few distributors that are interested in it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, because I feel it's like the most polished of all my films, that I want it the best possible deal for it.
Yeah.
Best exposure for all the actors involved and everyone else involved. So that's what I'm aiming for, is the best possible distribution. So I'm not running into a distribution deal just so I've got one.
Yeah.
If none of them suit what I want, then I'm probably just going to go through Amazon myself.
Yeah.
It's better to have a distribution deal, but if none of them can provide what I want, with the fact that they then sort of own it for so long, I'd rather just do it myself.
Yeah. So where can the people find this film then? Where would the notification be?
Well, I'm not sure at the moment in regards to this film at the moment, because distribution can take a while.
Yeah.
It could be another year before it's distributed. If because I'm sending it to someone tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I told them once the premiere's done, then I can send it off to them. And probably 2 others that have been meshing with for 3 years. They seem really keen.
Yeah.
So hopefully within the next year, Children of Darkwood House will be available for everyone to watch. Hopefully on Amazon, Google Play, Apple and all that kind of stuff. Usually they're the haunts to go to.
And where do they need to go to find a notification of when it's going to be? Or
if they look to my Instagram or Facebook page, MrStitchFilms,
yeah,
all information always gets posted on there first.
Always love that plug, don't we, Ryan? Right, thank you so much once again. I think it's elbow bump, isn't it? So
thank
there
you
we go.
so much
Thanks
for
very
coming. I
much.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
me. Right, take care.
First of all, thank you for bearing the drizzle for all this. If you wouldn't mind,
You just saw that.
trying to play it down a little bit.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself and your role in the film.
Right, so I'm Sarah Wynne-Cordis, and I played, Florence Taylor. It's been a long time. I did watch it just now.
Yeah, no worries. My first question would be then, what was the most challenging aspect of playing a role in this movie?
Probably, actually, it was quite a long shoot overall. So the very first scene that we do, where I'm not giving too much away. No. So it's like the prologue. So I'm with my children in the nursery. That was one of the first things we shot. And then the very last thing I shot was over a year later, which was running about underneath the jet wash outside the house.
Yes.
So that whole scene was over a year. And
That scene was very impressive, actually. The outdoor scene, the sideways winds. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that.
That poor wig. I was just joking. She went on tour in theatre for a year in between.
I mean, from the looks of it, Anthony said earlier that you had to chuck a bucket of water over you.
Yeah, he's got a video of that somewhere. He did it twice.
Hopefully we'll see it here now.
Yeah, he did it twice, and he just laughed and said, "Oh, I love my job."
It's only just, it just occurred to me now that he never just went straight in and then carried on. Because in my head, I was like, why wouldn't you chuck a bucket of water over you when you was already wet from the sideways rain?
He was nice. He used warm water, and I remember saying, right, yeah, just do it. But if I can have, I drink black coffee all the time. If I could just have a nice warm mug of black coffee for when we come to shoot it, and just on some way in between any sort of takes, because I'll get very cold very quickly because it was freezing in the house.
Yeah.
Derelict house, and in some of the scenes between Sarah and Ben, I don't know whether they made it to the edit, but you can see the breath.
Yeah, there was one scene particularly on Ben's breath, and
Really
I
cold.
questioned. I was like, "That's some good effects. He's got that.
Yeah.
Hang on!" And then just realised earlier on that it was actually just that cold. So well done for that. Very, very well done.
Fine.
Definitely. No, I feel like he deserves a lot more credit than I was giving him in my head for that scene, which was a lot anyway. But considering how cold it would have been, I can only imagine.
Not at all. I think the executive producer enjoyed the rain scene as well. You should interview him.
Yeah, we'll probably get as much out of
He's
this
a
as we possibly
character.
can.
Yeah.
Do you yourself have any supernatural beliefs?
Me, yes.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yes.
scoop.
Oh.
Have you had any experiences?
Yes, I haven't seen anything.
Okay.
I should also probably say I'm very sceptical about people who make money out of mediumship and this, that and the other, so I'm the worst person to go out there. Along with Sarah, she's really cynical. For Anthony's stag night, we went to a haunted event, and I was more polite about my cynicism than Sarah. But yeah, I haven't seen anything as such, but I've lived in very haunted houses when I was younger. And my best friend when I was very little, her house was just unbelievable. I could list stuff and you wouldn't believe half of it. But it culminated in when her granddad died, that doors wouldn't just open and shut at once, they'd go twice. As we used to joke, it's her granddad chasing the ghost around. It sounds ridiculous. It just sounds ridiculous. But also my aunt is actually somebody who does go and do house clearances and helps people who are possessed and things like that. So
Okay.
if it was anybody else's aunt, I'd go, yeah. But some of the stuff she's told me, because I know her,
Yeah.
wow.
We'll have to get her on the podcast.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Go to Malvern and visit my aunt. She's got the same last name as me.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Is there any other work that anybody watching might be able to scope you out on?
If they're very local and they're in Nottingham over the next few weeks, I'm doing thriller season in Nottingham at the moment. I'm in the last play and I design and do some stuff with the company there. I'm going to be playing a Red Queen, or no, Queen of Hearts, sorry.
Same thing. Same thing. Could be diamond, but
It always mixed up anyway. She wears red. In a tour next year and some events later on. There's Anthony's other film, which is on Prime now, and a film called Crispy's Curse, which is out on Prime. I'm trying to think.
could say link in the description of that.
Oh yeah.
Link in the description.
Yeah, there we go.
I've done a few short films which are out. I think they're on IMDb or something. But yeah, there's another film which is going to be premiered next couple of months, which is, I have to remember, I've got no brain at the moment, Tales of the Creep of Death
Okay.
by John Williams. But yeah, other than that, it's been a slow while really.
They got some links, you'll get them in the video, don't worry. And last question then. Anthony really enjoys that sort of era that a lot of his films are based in. How difficult is it to not only sort of maintain that role, but as well as, I personally feel I've never really acted, but sort of acting in horror thrillers is just another is challenge. And then you've got the error thing on top of that. How do you feel about, or how difficult is it to sort of maintain that as well as keep on your mind? The thriller aspect of it, or the scary aspect of it. So I would concentrate on one or the other, I think, and throughout the whole film, it's done very well throughout.
I think because I've done quite a bit of theatre stuff, and I approach this rightly or wrongly, not all the way through, but I think a lot of it I've done slightly melodramatic, because you've got that Victorian melodrama, very dark, moody sort of feel to a lot of it. So yeah, I think my theatre background, because we do a lot of period stuff as well.
Okay.
My biggest problem is I slouch all the time. And I put my hands in my hips and everything, it's just like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stand up straight and, you know, pretend you're in a corset, or, you know, wear a tighter belt to make you sit up straight. And remember that people in Victorian times, they didn't really let off that many emotions. So, well, they're seen in our eyes to be quite cold.
Yeah.
And especially my character.
Yeah, no, that's.
She's not that nice.
Yeah, no, I
to me.
did spot on this occasion.
Really
This is
not
what was I
very
found
emphatic.
really impressive is it is maintained throughout. Like I say, the posture, not just talking a certain way, but the posture just fits the mannerisms feel really well. I think you did an absolutely wonderful job. And thank you again for sparing the time for us to do this.
No worries.
And all the best for yourself in the future.
Brilliant. Thank you. Lovely to meet you, and hope to see you again soon.
Hopefully. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
Hello, so would you like to tell me who you are and a little bit about the character that you played?
Okay, well, my name is Sarah Ellis, and the character I play is Marion Kelly, and she's a kind of psychic investigator, looking at the supernatural, paranormal, because she has a bit of a sad background, and it's kind of linked in with her trying to find, is there something after death? She's hoping there's something after death. And she also wants to help others because I think she's got a big heart.
So how did you find getting into that character role? Are you...
I am an amateur actor, so I found getting into that role because I'm from the north, so I'm a very northern kind of accent normally. So by doing the posh voice that kind of goes with the character, it was almost like the character kind of built itself around that,
Okay.
which was quite good. But I have to remember that I am talking posh. So like, how do I explain it? It's like, so what do I keep saying about the answer? Well, I would say answer.
Yeah.
Or bath or bus or whatever, but you kind of got to think of those southern vowels and push it up. And once I'd got that, I think everything kind of fell into place for me.
Brilliant. So Anthony mentioned that the set, the main sort of house was freezing. Now, do you think that the set was cold because of the weather, or do you think that something supernatural was going on in that place?
Oh no, it was cold because of the weather.
Yeah.
I think it was cold because of the weather, which was the Beast from the East was when. Do you remember the Beast from the East?
Yeah.
So the Beast from the East happened the week we were filming.
Yeah.
So, but I do know that Anthony, because he was there a lot doing sets and painting walls and everything, and he felt there was some kind of spooky influence going on. I never felt it. But I mind you saying that, when you were there alone and it was dark, because there was no electric lights, because he'd taken all the electric light bulbs out, there's something about not being able to switch the light on that was a bit spooky. But definitely cold weather. I cannot tell you how cold it was in that
We can
house.
see it.
We can see it.
We can see it. I was asking Ant whether it was an
the
effect. Yeah.
we kind of, I
He'd
don't know.
love to claim it, but no, we could see that it was cold.
It's good. And of course, and I'm going to get this in because this is my rule.
Okay.
Male characters are like, shirts, ties, coats,
Yeah.
jackets, or whatever it was, and then it would be, okay, we're about to film, and I'd have to take off the shawl or the coat that I was wearing, and then just be in this little, you saw the little lace blouses or anything, and I'd go, right, so, just right, you're not cold, Sarah, you're in a house and it's not cold.
So how did you find the reshoots? Because Ant has mentioned that he had to reshoot things multiple times. He is a perfectionist, as I'm well aware. And does he crack the whip enough? Is he one of those guys?
He was very sweet with me because I'm not great at remembering words.
Okay.
And he was lovely. He kind of just coached me through it. And I think there were times when it was getting late, we weren't quite getting things right, and he would still keep his temper, and it was just brilliant because I think once you I've worked in production before, and once you start that kind of anxiety and stress and anger building, it's really hard to kind of keep everybody down and focused. And so he was lovely. But doing extra bits is kind of going, okay, right, just think Marion, get the voice right, and it followed. And that was, and a lot of the locations were quite Victorian looking as well. Yeah. So again, you kind of sit down in that, and you, right, I'm in a drawing room in a Victorian household, and we were very lucky with the locations.
Yeah, he was saying it. Beg, borrow, and steal. I think he said the words.
Yeah.
Who did the stealing?
Very generous, and I can't help but think, the budget for this. I don't know who mentioned the budget for this. We didn't have a budget. It was just, it was peanuts, let's say. And you start looking at what can be done with this, with the director that Anthony is. And I'd love there to be someone going, have lots of money to do something this time, because I just think it would be mind-blowing.
Yeah, I agree. He does a lot of good with the little that he has.
Absolutely incredible.
So, final question,
Yeah.
and I'm taking this from the actual film.
Okay.
Do you think your character is brave or foolish?
I think she's brave. I think she's super brave. I think her son is rubbish.
He ran away.
I know.
He ran away. It's like...
he was a bit scared and he went, right, goodbye, mother, and ran off.
See ya.
So I think she's a combination of brave and, you know, that kind of background of searching for something because she's lost people in her life as well. But yeah, I was hoping that she was something a little bit kick-ass about it. I said I want the kick-ass role next time.
Yeah, she was definitely kick-ass.
She was a bit, wasn't she? She kept going back. Yeah. Although I do see your point about being foolish. No, she was brave. She was terribly brave.
So thank you for having this interview with us,
welcome.
and thank you for displaying your acting to us. It was
right.
incredible. So thank you once again.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
My name's Luke.
Luke and Ryan. And this is for
the Sleepy Talk podcast sort of thing.
Right,
So
okay.
we've done a few things with Anne on his films and things. So he's invited us down to interview and
brilliant.
and so we're gonna do a good video of this.
Your thing, then? Is that what you're going?
Pretty much.
Like, yeah.
Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Yeah. So do you make your own stuff as well?
We do.
Currently, got
we don't
plans to
make
do some
films.
stuff, haven't we? Yeah. Got plans for some stuff coming up, yeah. But,
You sure you're not an investigator?
No, but I don't mind little parts.
So we don't do any films per se. We will be hopefully doing some like ghost hunts and things like that. So real time, live, you know, real reactions and things like that. So a little bit different from your world, but hopefully we can act a little bit in them.
I would so come up for that. Anthony is a true believer and I'm a complete cynic.
We'll have to get you both there.
Is that
believer, and I'm just like,
okay? Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so
That would be brilliant.
combo
I watch
team.
all of that stuff on YouTube, and sometimes I'm sorry if you've got time and getting wet, but I watch all of that stuff and I'm like, obviously it's a setup, and then there's other times where I'm a bit like, how did they do that? But of course you're watching it on video, so you never know how they've done something.
I mean, we are very cynical when it comes to watching live reactions on YouTube. We do that at the minute. So hopefully when we do it, it's all going to be raw and real. And I say hopefully, I'm going to be raw and real. I don't know about Ryan, he's a good actor. So
I think you can be afraid, you can be frightened in a like if you went and said, here's a graveyard sailor stand in a graveyard, there's something a bit spooky about it.
Yeah.
It's a bit unsettling. But I would not think of supernatural where maybe you were in a graveyard, you might be starting to think, okay.
There's a hand coming up. Yeah.
What was that? Oh, well, let me know. Or let me know via Anthony.
Yeah, definitely.
hey guys, so we've just been to see.
Can I be you then? Yeah, sure, you be me. Hey guys! So I've never. Oh, I do on PTR, don't I?
Yes.
Oh dear.
We've finished. We've interviewed the stars. We've interviewed the director, producer, editor, the beans behind the sauce.
The beans behind the scenes. Why didn't you do that?
The beans behind the scenes. Sorry, I told you should have done it. And we're on the way home now. Lukey boy has a lot of editing to do, which I am excited for him to do. I don't know how he's feeling about it himself. We all know how he loves his editing.
All about that grind.
We met some awesome people and swapped some business cards and that. So it might be some appearances from some of the stars and some sleepy content in the future. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, long drive home now. What's it going to be, like an hour?
Yeah, about an hour.
About an hour. We're back in old Ches Vegas and Luke's going to get straight to work. Anything you want to add before we go, bro?
I don't like driving in Nottingham.
I didn't like living in Nottingham, if I'm honest with you.
No, other than that, like the film was great. The cast and crew that we spoke to, really friendly, really great people, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I really did, and it's the first. I'm in the wrong lane. I hate this place. Yeah, it's the first premiere that I've gone to, and yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. So
cool. See you on the flip side, guys. Peace.
Take care.
So guys, sorry this is really late. So we watched the premiere like 3 to 4 months ago. I've had a lot of PC issues, but we're back. And I just have to say, even though it's been that long, I still thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to go and watch this film. I enjoyed the film and I enjoyed the whole experience. So here's to the next one. Take care.
All of it closely, I played it innocent, a feel of discontent.